Good evening, everyone. My name is Mary Otto, and I'm just coming at you tonight with a little training on social media marketing. This is something that I am actually very new at. I don't feel like I have enough experience to really be training on this topic, but I feel like we can all grow together in this. And so I have been doing a lot of research lately on how to grow my social media following as well. So yeah, that's why I'm coming at you with this training today. We're going to be talking about a few different social media platforms, as well as just some ways to hopefully grow on those platforms. And so let's just get right into it. I'm going to go ahead and share a different screen here. Give me one moment. All right. So like I said, my name is Mary Otto, and you can read a little about me on my website here if you'd like to. GoSeeThisWorld.com is where you would go to do that. I've been with Archer and Evolution since the beginning of January of this, or the end of January of this year, 2023. So, not too long, but soon after I joined, I actually became a mentor and a trainer, and I really love this aspect of the business. I really enjoy working with my team and just growing with them. And so, yeah, that's a little bit about me. And from there, I actually thought I could share with this screen, but I'm gonna have to stop sharing this one and share another one as well. Give me one moment. There we go. All right. You take a look at my notes here. First thing I'm going to talk about is consistency. So with your posting on social media, how do you post consistently? What's practical? What can you keep up with? It says the social media algorithm favors those who post consistently, which means the algorithm is going to show, put your posting or your reel or your content in front of more people if you're consistent with your posting. So that is something that's really important, but we have to look at the different ways of being consistent. So maybe you don't have time to post a couple times a day. And on some social media platforms, that's almost too much. But they say a couple times a day isn't too much, but I think it just does depend. I think it can be a little too much, but let's say someone's telling you need to be posting once a day in order to put yourself in front of more people and all of this, but that's not necessarily true with all platforms from what I've read. It's more about being consistent with when you are posting. So let's say it's better to post on Instagram from 8 to 9 in the morning, and then you go ahead and create a reel and you post it at 8:30, and then the next day you go post it at like 2 p.m. That's not being consistent. So the best thing to do would be to post it around the same time. And you can read up on like the different platforms and what the better times are for each platform, because it does vary. Let's see. It's saying, is there such a thing as posting too much? And then it does say there's an optimum number of times to post per week, and this varies by social media channel. This is just some stuff I was reading, so I thought I would screenshot and share with you guys. So it's saying Facebook could be up to 1 to 2 posts per day. Twitter, 3 tweets per day. I'm not familiar with Twitter. I don't actually use it. LinkedIn, 2 to 5 posts per week. I think that's, a good range. I probably do about at least 3 times per week on LinkedIn. Instagram, 1 to 2 reels per day, plus 1 image or carousel. So with Instagram, that's probably not too much, but I think that's asking a lot. If you're doing a reel, those can take some time. So even 1 a day to me would be plenty to go ahead and, be consistent with that. TikTok, 1 to 3 posts per day. Okay, so yeah, it depends on how much you want to grow on each platform. So I suggest focusing like mainly on 2 platforms so that you can keep up with it. But I do focus a lot on about 3 platforms right now, but I have more time to focus on this right now. The one place I am trying to grow on is my Instagram account, because I created a new one for my business and it is slow going. So that's something I'm kind of tweaking things and trying a few different things to see what works the best currently. But Pinterest, I also do not use, but some of these are, good platforms to use. And if you're already on them and you have a following on them, I would suggest utilizing those as well. All right. So if you guys want to take a screenshot while this is here, I'll just give a moment for that. And then I'll move on. Let's see. I think I had another photo. Yeah, here's one. Oops, same one. Okay. So now let's get into hashtags a little bit. One thing that's really important is using some hashtags that are relevant to your niche. And what do hashtags do? They tell the platform who to put your content in front of, basically. So if someone's maybe searching for a reel or a post that has to do with these hashtags, or maybe they just tend to look at content that have to do with these hashtags, that's where your content can be put in front of them. So this was saying that this was popular hashtags for travel agents. So I went ahead and copied those, and I'm thinking of trying to at least input some of those into my hashtags. One thing you have to be careful of is not doing too many or too little for certain platforms. So that's something you want to watch out for as well. You don't want to overload with hashtags. Some people, think you're a little bit spammy if you do that. And I don't know how much truth there is to that, as much as it can kind of confuse the algorithm if you have too many. That's something that I'm still working on, because I had thought it was better to use a little more. So I had just started doing that. And then I found out it may not be, depending on what platform you're using. So just be careful with that. I wonder if I have a screenshot of, okay, so this is, so this is saying for Facebook, to ensure maximum engagement, aim for 2 to 3 hashtags per post. You can add up to 5 hashtags for maximum reach for longer posts. By selecting the best hashtags for each post, you'll be able to target your desired audience and create more meaningful connections. So that's saying not very many at all. So I would play with that, because I'm not sure. Like, you want to make sure they're very relevant to your niche. And I like to add in like my own personal hashtag that's not really like that has my business name. So I always go hashtag go see this world, so that if they would click on that hashtag, they can see all of my posts, like say on Facebook, and then they can go through and see anything I've posted on Facebook once they click on it. So I don't know if I would count that in. I would maybe add like 2 or 3 others with that. But I've been doing a lot more than that, but I just realized today, okay, Facebook, maybe it's better not to do so many on that. And let's see, is that all of my things? One thing we could do is go ahead and search for, okay, so on here it's saying there are no limits to how many hashtags you can use on TikTok. The character limit is huge, so you can squish in as many as you want. As mentioned earlier, we recommend using between 3 to 5 hashtags relevant to your video only for optimal results. So you do want to make 3 to 5 of them relevant to your video. I don't think it hurts to do a few more than that. One thing I would do is actually go to someone that looks really successful on the platform you're using, look at their videos and see what kind of hashtags they use, and make sure they're kind of relevant to you. So maybe they at least deal with travel in general, and just see kind of the amount and what they're doing. Especially if it looks like they're growing. So I'm following someone on Instagram right now, and I can watch her account daily grow. Now, she's not in the travel industry, so that's something that I need to find someone that's in the travel industry that's doing that. But she's doing at least 1 to 2 reels per day, sometimes 1, sometimes 2. And she is constantly getting more followers, and it's a new account she had created. I can tell that like she's very new, because she's still under 1,000 followers, but she literally in the past few days has gone from like 290 something followers to like 900 now. So I'm watching her and trying to get tips kind of just by looking at what she's doing, but it is hard if they're not in your niche too, because that can just vary a lot. So let's see what else I was going to talk about yet. So Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn. There's also YouTube as a platform. And I don't know a whole lot about YouTube. I post some trainings on there and stuff, but at this point, it's not that I like post a whole lot or am very consistent on it, because it's not something I'm prioritizing at this moment a whole lot. There's only so much you can prioritize, but it is something I do hope to in the future. Let's go to my YouTube real quick. Let's see here. And I am going to post this training on there. So I would love if you guys want to give me, if you want to subscribe, and just so you can see some of my other trainings as well, it would help me out and hopefully help you out as well. Let me stop sharing that screen. Well, I should have just stayed on that screen. Here we go. Let's go to my YouTube channel. Okay. So here's my channel. So I have up here under the shorts tab, I have posted different shorts. So if I have a nice reel I'm posting, I just post that as well. You can see the views are really low on some of these. So I know it needs more consistency, or else I'm just not triggering the algorithm quite right. But those are the shorts. Let's see. Is that all? I think that's all I have left on this account. I had created a new one not long ago, or I redid this account basically, I should say. These are some of the longer ones. This one got 35 views, but I posted it in different of the chats. These are like my training videos. So, yeah, I would love if you guys would come in, maybe check out a couple of my other videos and subscribe. It definitely helps to have people subscribing and watching. But YouTube is also something they say, like, even if you put a video on a week, it's better to do that and be consistent than to be like inconsistent and be putting on a lot. So just remember that with any platform. I know sometimes it's hard when you're crazy busy, but one thing I like to do is if I know I have more time on certain days, just be consistent on those days. So right now I don't post as much on weekends, but I post a lot during the week. I've been trying to do one reel a day on Instagram during the week. And if I know I can keep up with that, then that's what, I should be doing. So I hope that was helpful for you guys. I'm going to go back to my notes and make sure there's not anything else that I am missing here. Give me one moment. I don't want to share that screen yet while I look here. All right. So LinkedIn, we didn't cover that a whole lot, but LinkedIn is one of those things, it's a little more for business. A lot of people, it's less about like people scrolling and just seeing your content. It's a little more for business. I use that some for the mentorship side as well. So I kind of intertwine the two things, and I do that on some of the other platforms as well. But one thing I do recommend you guys, just while we're kind of talking about putting ourselves out there, is getting kind of your own personal branded website, kind of like I showed you mine. I'm constantly updating it and changing it because, I haven't had it super long and there's always things that you can upgrade, but creating that free on Canva, attaching a domain to it, like it can really, boost your business, and it gets views if you've got it like attached to some of your stories, all of that. One thing I will mention while I just said stories, on Instagram, it does boost your reel views if you post your reels to your story as well, so that people that are just, scrolling through stories on Instagram then can go view your reel as well. So make sure you always do that as well. All right, you guys, hopefully that kind of covered it. It's a short training, but something I've been working on and thinking about today. So I thought I would just do a short training. Sometimes those are the best, and then you can just kind of go ahead and implement whatever I've been talking about. Hopefully that encourages y'all. I know it's a process, and growing your social media can be a little bit, depressing and stressful, just depending on like whether you've got a pretty large following already or not. And even if you don't, though, everyone had to start from somewhere. And the biggest thing is consistency. So just remember, like, you won't be at the same place a year from now if you be very consistent. So yeah, just make sure you're paying attention to the amount you post, the consistency that you're having with your posts. Do what you can keep up with. Use hashtags that are relevant to your niche. Check on the amounts that you're using. You can always try a few different things. Try for a few days using a few more hashtags, then a few less. Try to use the same hashtags as long as your videos are relevant to those. So don't constantly switch up the kinds of hashtags, or at least keep a few that are always the same. So yeah, I'm learning and developing. And if I have any more updates, I may do another training, but I hope that helps you guys. We'll talk to y'all later, hopefully.